I would have been 6 years old when I first encountered just the idea of these Norse gods. I remember looking at them and going, this is amazing. I'd encountered the stories of the Greeks, even of the Egyptians, and you look at the supreme gods, the top gods, you look at Zeus, you look at Ra, and they are powerful and all-wise and to be aspired to. And yet here's Odin, and if he turns up at your house, he'll probably turn up in disguise and you know, leave with half your cutlery and possibly having seduced your daughter.
Yeah.
These are unreliable people. When I started writing the stories, and I started working on this book about 4 years ago, from my perspective, it was the joy of just going, this is part of the heritage of the human race. Let me give it to a new generation. I suppose I think about them as if I'm taking old folk songs and then perhaps orchestrating them, arranging them for modern ears. I'm going back to the Icelandic versions of these stories that remain to us, written in a post-Christian world, picking the versions of the stories I like, not changing things, not creating in the sense of retelling. Retelling as if you were telling a joke that you love, but telling it for modern ears. I had a lot of fun with it, but what I didn't do was invent stories. I feel like the gods are ours, and we are allowed, we created them. Human beings get to create gods, and human beings get to tell stories with gods. We carry our cultures around with us. We carry our background around with us. We carry our histories and our families' histories and our ancestors' histories around with us. For me, it's all part of the giant same thing, which is storytelling. What fascinates me, what drives me, is the urge to tell stories. What then drives you is going, where is this story best told? How can you tell this story as one thing? Sometimes how can you move this story from one medium to another? Absolutely, fearing that it will be taken away from you at any moment when people notice that you are simply making it up. And I guess it's worse for a writer because you are simply making it up.
Yeah, you really are.
You know, you look around and you go, well, doctors, they've at least learned things, and you know, architects must know how to architect, but I'm just a guy who makes stuff up, and people happen to like it, and maybe tomorrow they won't like it. Maybe there will be that knock on the door and there'll be the guy in the suit with the clipboard saying, right, we're on to you. You have to go and get a real job now. One of the things that I love about Ragnarok is, yes, it's the end of all times. It's terrible. All the people are killed. Everything is destroyed. And yet, even as Ragnarok finishes, you're told that there are two human beings whose names are Life and Life's Yearning, who are still hiding successfully, and they will repopulate the world. And yes, the sun is destroyed, but a new sun will come up, fresher and brighter than the old one.